Hello everybody and big welcome to cEDH TV gameplay. I'm joined by a penguin and Rhetoric, Pontus and Snuske.
Yo.
Today my commander is Yidris Maelstrom Wielder and it's basically a storm deck. I want this commander to connect and I want to cascade by casting spells from my hand and casting my deck list. But we aren't commander centric or commander dependent. We can win by resolving a Peer into the Abyss or just an clean ad nauseam, or maybe just mill ourselves until we find Underworld Breach, or just a clean win with Fastest Oracle. But I do like the part where we can actually cast the commander and just win through random cards from our hand as well. So me and Penguin ready to fight.
Today I'm bringing a new commander, just released, hot off the presses. It's Hashaton. It's a Esper commander that's kinda like a Reanimator adjacent deck. It helps you cheat out things. When you discard a creature, you can pay 3 to put it into play. So you or you put a copy into play, more specifically. So it's kinda 3 mana reanimate on a commander that's also cheap to cast. And there's also a bunch of cool stuff you can do with stuff like Necro and stuff, which sounds pretty good. So I'll try it.
I am playing Glarb, Calamity's Augur, which is of course named Bloomburrow Precon. It's basically the Precon with a few upgrades to make it cEDH. This is a Hermit Thoracle list in Sultai, which I have played a couple of hundred games on with a different commander, so I should be able to pilot this.
And me, I'm playing Derevi again. Wanted to focus on the Eldrazi Displacer combo and a number of other things. This is Bad Dog's list that I'm going to go ahead and give a spin to. But yeah, we're just trying to really abuse Flicker abilities to generate infinite mana and smash over with something like Finale of Devastation. Should be fun. But I'm going to go ahead and keep 6 with this one. I like it just because I have some options here. Previously, I just had lands and I had an Avacyn's Pilgrim. I didn't have much going on with my first hand either. But this one, I can deal with being at 6, mostly on the grounds that if I pitch something like Eldritch Evolution, I have some abilities to maybe play Drannith Magistrate, and plus I'm turn 1. That's really great for this kind of deck, especially just trying to do a little bit of stacks in the beginning. So take it away, Snuske.
That's a Hermit Druid. Very interesting. Sadly, it's just a Hermit Druid. Looking at the list, once we activate Hermit, we do need creatures in play. Don't have the Jellyfish in the list. So if we want to be able to do the Dread Return line, we need 2 other creatures in play. And with this not being able to cast a Mystic Remora early on, I don't think that's worth it. So we probably want to try to find something else. Also, the Turbo Hermit is not really a thing in this list, it seems, because it doesn't have the support for it. So it is a little bit slower, so we're going to have to keep that in mind. Second 7 has issues. It's got some Hermit support and a Flood Caller. Doesn't really help us in the early game. Doesn't accelerate us being able to cast Glarb. So let's go and look at a 6. Similar issue, nothing really going on. We can't even cast this Force of Will if we wanted to. It's got 4 lands, but Glarb itself, I mean, it does something, mostly like removing lands from the top of our deck. I think I would be more comfortable just going to 5, trying to find anything. So let's do that. It's getting worse, so that's cool. Mindbreak Trap, just 1 land. Going second, probably want to keep at least these 4. Hope we get a land in the first turn. So I think we're just going to keep this and bottom these 2. I'm going to lose.
Here we have our first 7, and it has a lot going for it, but it's also a bit awkward. Into this pod, a Mystic Remora, while never bad, isn't best. Derevi is a mainly creature deck. It does run fast mana because it's a cEDH deck, but I don't think they play that many talismans and stuff, so if the fast mana comes out, it's probably coming out turn 1. Glarb similarly runs rocks and stuff, of course, but also runs more dorks and more mid-range pieces. And then we have Yidris, which is actually pretty good to cast Fish into. And from looking at this hand, Fish has to really carry us. If Fish doesn't do anything, we're not really doing anything. But if it does something, we do have like interaction, we have a Wishclaw Talisman, we have Frantic Search to discard something. I'd say the only thing this hand is like actually missing is fast mana, which we would hopefully draw for Fish. I think this is something I keep. If I was going first or second, it's like snap keep. But because I'm third, I think I would only keep this because Mons is after me. But I think keeping a turn 1 Fish with a misstep backup is strong enough with this actual hand to keep. But if you don't draw mana our turn 2 going forward is actually really awkward. So we have to, this fish has to perform pretty good. If it doesn't, it's awkward. But I think it's gonna go fine enough for us to just drive this fish into victory, hopefully. So let's try out the fish.
All right, Pingis, what do you think of this hand? Yeah, you don't like it? Actually, I think this is actually something we can keep, strangely enough. So at first glance, it's strange, right? I mean, the amount of mana here to reach ad nauseam isn't really there. Oh, sure, we have a Cabal Ritual and we have an Elder Spirit Guide, so we could reach the Adnos pretty fairly fast, but it's still going to take like maybe turn 3. We might need a turn 3 land drop, potentially. However, we have a Demonic Consultation and an Elder Spirit Guide, and with that, we can turn 2 Rhetoric Study by using Demonic Consultation to find the Rhetoric Study, which sounds crazy to some of you, but I actually like the idea. So I am going to keep this hand because, once again, we can kinda get the Ad Nauseam to resolve fairly early with the Cabal Ritual and the Elder Spirit Guide, or we can just tutor for an Rhetoric Study turn 2, sacrificing a few cards off the library, but it's totally worth it. So, what do you think about now? Yeah, the penguin looks very happy right now, so we're keeping. Let's pingy go!
Alright, we don't have any pre-games, so I will start us off. Let's go ahead and draw a card. Play this Arid Mesa. Fetch. Grab a Savannah. Put a Mox Diamond into play. Controversially, we're going to imprint this Mystical Tutor. I'll tap that and the Savannah for a Draenith Magistrate. I will pass turn.
I will play a Windswept Teeth. Pass.
Go to my turn. Land for turn will be a Burning Catacombs, which I will fetch. Finding an Underground Sea, tapping it to cast a Mystic Remora.
Tropical Island and cast a Worldly Tutor. And I am going to search for the one and only Burst of Paradise.
I have a bird here for you. Pinky bird. Snow-covered bird of paradise.
Does it also tap for any color?
This thing taps for every color.
Awesome.
And with Vision Play, I'll pass the turn.
I'm going to draw a card. That's a great card to draw, actually. We're going to put this by you, and then I'm actually going to pass the turn.
We untapped. We're putting a Waterlog Grove into play, and then we will cast Derevi. I will untap this Savannah, and then I'll move to combat, and I will attack Mons. Draenith Magistrate for 1. Sweet. Go ahead and untap the Waterlog Grove, and after that, pass turn.
I'm going to untap and I'm going to draw this Burst of Paradise. And I'm going to tap this Tropical Island for a green and cast this Burst of Paradise for 1 green. It taps for any color. I don't have any other lands. I'm going to pass.
Go to my turn. Pay to keep Mystic Remora around and then draw a card. Land for turn will be a Tundra. And here we see pretty much exactly what I was afraid of. I didn't expect Mons to just go land past turn 1. I hope he has some gas, otherwise I'm screwed as well. Yeah, we're getting stuck on mana. We can't cast the Wishful Talisman. We have a bunch of interaction, or I guess misstep. Mind Rig Trap, maybe a sneaky pact play, but I don't see that coming up because people would have to like storm a bit for that to be relevant. So yeah, we're just sitting back, playing land, hoping fish does something at some point, or otherwise we're just not really in this game. After my planes, I will pass.
So we're in Pontus' end step, and we have a few options. So what we can actually do here is cast the Demonic Consultation to potentially find Rhetoric Study, like we talked about, or Mana Vault, because we have City of Traitors, we have Cabal Ritual, and if we find a Mana Vault, we will have Adnos mana on turn 2, with even mana floating from the Mana Vault post that. And with a Pact of Negation, we can even like protect the Nos. And that's a potential great turn to win attempt. There's a Rhetoric Study, Mystic Remora in play, but Pontus is going to draw a few cards. I have a Pact of Negation, and post Nos I will have a lot of counterspells. So in the end, we're actually going to fire off the Demonic Consultation, trying to find a Mana Vault, but you could really go for Rhetoric Study here instead, or just do nothing. But this is not a hand that can sit back and do nothing. We have to kind of use the Demonic Consultation for something here. So in the end step, I'm gonna fire off this Demonic Consultation. I wanna talk to a demon. You may draw with your fish. And I'm going to name Mana Vault. Let's start flipping. Please don't be on the top 6. That's not one of the top 6, so we're gonna keep digging until we hit it. Oh, there's the Rhetoric Study. We could have I was contemplating on naming the Rhetoric Study, And we wouldn't have lost that much of the library if we would have done that. That's a Lion's Diamond that is gone. That's a Brain... well, Lion's Diamond is gone, so we don't want the Brain Freeze anymore either. That's a Tainted Pact. Well, the consult is gonna be in the grave, so we can get the consult back with Underworld Breach. Fastest Oracle is gone. There's the Mana Vault. We're not even dead yet. We have 46 cards left in the library. I mean, Praetor's Grasp? In any case, we're untapping first. Oh, epic hit. So first off, we're gonna play City of Traitors. We're gonna tap that for 2 colorless and then this one for black. I'm gonna use 1 colorless to cast a Mana Vault and Fish can draw a card.
I pass.
I'm gonna tap this for 4 colorless, use 1 colorless and 1 black mana, floating 3 colorless. And I'm gonna cast a Cabal Ritual to gain 3 black mana to my mana pool. And you may draw a card with Fish again.
That's some cavalry.
I'm gonna use 2 black mana and 3 colorless, floating 1 black mana total, and cast Ad Nauseam. And Fish can draw its last card. Actually, there's a problem. After thinking about it for a while, so literally what happened is that Snuski and Pontus went over how does he actually win once Brain Freeze and Fastest Oracle and Lion's Diamond have been exiled? And the answer are Mnemonic Betrayal and Praetor's Grasp, because with those we can get Fastest Oracle from an opponent's library. What you basically do is that you call, let's say, this Windfall, and you draw people into discarding their Fastest Oracle, and then you use Mnemonic Betrayal to cast Fastest Oracle from their graveyard, or you use a Praetor's Grasp to steal their Fastest Oracle. Unluckily for me, those cards doesn't exist inside this decklist, so after thinking about it for a while, going over everything, I can't win. Literally. The only win con remaining for me is literally Yidris beats. If we would have named Rhetoric Study, we could have cast Rhetoric Study here and pass turn, but we could also have just been unlucky and the reverse could have happened. If Mana Vault would have been higher on the top, the win chance here would have been amazing. So it was a gamble, it didn't pay off. The only thing I'm gonna contribute to this game now is basically Kingmake Pontus by feeding the Fish, which I've already done 3 times. I'm gonna concede and feel sad.
Okay, well, I'm happy to have made you concede, Mons. I'll take credit for that, guys. Thanks so much. Yeah. All right, we will untap and draw. I'll start us off by tapping Savannah and Chromux. I'll cast a Birthing Ritual. So basically, Birthing Ritual is like Birthing Pod, except we can look at the top 7. Is you can actually look at these cards before you decide to sack. So I will not be paying for Fish as well.
I pass.
All right, Birthing Ritual resolves. Let's go to combat, and we will attack Pontus for 3 total with Draenith Magistrate and Derevi.
No blocks.
All right, damage resolves. So we will go ahead and untap these 2 mana sources. I'm going to move my end step, and I'll go ahead and respond to the trigger from Birthing Ritual. So for the audience, I'll just put those 7 into my hand. Here are the cards that I have. So I'm actually not going to do this. I'm going to put this on the bottom of the library because I don't think that they're good choices at the moment. So yeah, after that, I will just pass my turn with 3 mana available. These on the bottom of the library.
Draw a card? That's really funny. Mons, look at what I just drew. I'm gonna pass.
Untap and Fish trigger. I will actually let it die because I don't expect it will draw me more than 1, at most 2 cards until next turn. And I don't even think 1 is guaranteed, so I'll let it die. And then go to my draw. Land for turn will be a Scrub land. Then I will cast a Mox Diamond. Mox Diamond will discard a Hallowed Fountain. I'll tap a black mana to cast a Dark Ritual. Make 3 black. Then I will float a blue and use 2 black to cast a Frantic Search. I will draw 2, untap my 3 lands, and discard 2. I will be discarding this Jinki Taxis, the Progress Tyrant, and a Silence. Then I am tapping 2 white, using a black, to cast a Ranger Captain of Eos. Ranger resolves, and I will search with ATB, finding an Esper Sentinel and putting it in my hand. And after the search is over, I will use my Raining Blue Floating, tap 2 more to cast a Rhetoric Study.
It's not going to be useful on future Ranger turns, and I don't feel like anyone's going to cast 3 more spells again anytime soon.
You are probably correct, but also I hate you.
I know.
It's trapped. And I pass.
At the end of turn, I'll just add insult to injury by tapping a Savannah and attempt to swords the Ranger.
Why? I thought we could be friends. I'll misstep it.
It has been misstepped. I'll move to my turn. I'm not cast a Collector Roof. We'll go to combat. Sasuke will receive Draenith Magistrate, and Pontus will receive Derevi.
No blocks.
Okay, we'll do our untaps. no other effects on my main phase, so I will move to my end step to trigger Birthing Ritual. There are some decisions I can make with this. I think value at the moment. Go ahead and sacrifice Collect Roof, and then I'll put this Ranger Captain into play. Trigger Ranger Captain. Let me go ahead and copy Pontus by getting an Esper Sentinel, moving that to my hand, and because I'm at my end step, I cannot cast it. I will pass my turn.
Draw a card? Hey, it's all fine. We didn't goof. I know I said I played a lot of Hermit Druid in the past. Clearly, I haven't played enough cEDH lately. I forgot about the Hermit Thoracle line. I don't know why, but I did. Luckily, we didn't get the third mana to actually make that work, so that's good, I guess. No punish. We're still just gonna play the Hermit Druid. This combo also gets around both the Ranger Captains and the Dranith, so cool. Hopefully we get 1 mana next turn if we get that far. So we're gonna tap 2 and cast a Hermit Druid. And I should have just played it earlier just to have it in play.
Where's that Swords Rhetoric?
It's gone.
Huh?
Yeah, be scared by my Hermit Druid and 2 mana and 4 cards in hand. Pass.
Go to my turn. I will tap a white to cast a Esper Sentinel, a great card in this matchup. Haha. With Esper in play, I'll tap my Mox Diamond and Tundra to cast a Wishclaw Talisman. And with Wishclaw in play, I'll pass the turn.
Untap 1 for Esper Sentinel. I will pay 1 life to then cast a Noble Hierarch. Moving into combat, I will send Ranger Captain at Snowsuke, and I will send Derevi at Pontus. So 3 to Snowsuke and 2 to Pontus.
Sure.
No block.
Damage happens, we'll untap, and now we'll move to use the Birthing Ritual ability to look at the top 7. We'll take a risk, and I'm going to sacrifice this Strength Magistrate with these things that I have in my hand for the top 7. I can put Spellseeker in. Okay, so Spellseeker is on the battlefields. Any response to I'll search. Found the card. It's a crop rotation. It's pass turn.
Untap. Draw. I mean, I got a spell that I can cast, so we're gonna cast it, and we're gonna tap the bird to do it. Yeah, why not? Cast a Carpet of Flowers. Draw for both. Carpet. How many islands are you even playing? 2. Move to second main. Make 2 blue mana. Cast a Thassa's Oracle.
So, Rhetoric, how's it looking? Do you have anything? You don't have anything. I will Pact.
There you go.
I'll pay for Esper.
I almost got it. It was so close. Passed the turn.
So I'll go to my turn, and there's a pact tree, because someone forced my hand. So I will, in response to my pact trigger, I activate Wishclaw Talisman. Finding a card, and sadly, as much as it pains me, I have to give this Wishclaw to Snowsuke. Then, still in response to my pact trigger, because I do have Death on stack, I'll tap my Mox Diamond to cast a Culling the Weak, sacrificing my... I actually think I need my card draw more than this Ranger. So sacrificing my Ranger Captain. Not paying for Esper Sentinel for my Culling the Weak. Culling the Weak resolves. I'll have 1 black floating and pay for the pact trigger. And then I want to go to my draw step. And then I'm passing the turn.
Okay, yeah, we'll tap Waterlook Grove, sacrificing it as additional cost to cast Crop Rot. I will pay 1 for the Esper. Crops have been rotated, so we have made a Gaia's Cradle. Now I'll move to my turn. Drew a card. I'll begin tapping Gaia's Cradle for 5. I will put 1 more in the pool, making that 6. X will be 4. I will cast Finale Devastation. X is 4. Esper Sentinel trigger. I'm not going to pay for it. I'm not going to pay for Esper.
I will respond with a Force of Negation pitching Fierce Guardianship. Not paying for Esper.
Boo. That resolves. I have been thwarted of negation. Force of thwarting, whatever we say here on the channel. And I'll cast this Bob. Now we'll move to combat. Ranger Captain at... Snowsuke. And we will send Derevi at Pontus.
No blocks.
All right. Triggers happen. We will untap Gaia's Cradle, and then we'll untap Noble Hierarch. Second main, I'm going to tap Noble Hierarch again, and I will put whatever it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the pool. I'm going to use 2, so I've got 4 remaining. I'll use Noble Hierarch for, white, and I'll cast an Eldrazi Displacer. Just getting those creatures. We will just move to end step. And then Birthing Ritual will trigger, so let's look at 7. Okay, nothing at all. So we will put those on the bottom of the library in random order, and I'll pass turn.
Untap, draw a card. I guess I'm adding 2 blue again. Let's just use a blue and activate the Wishclaw. And you can have it back, Pontus. Play a Misty Rainforest. Oh, I'm just gonna tap this for a black and cast an Unearth targeting Thor. Esper triggers. Is there a reason for me to not pay these? I guess in response I will crack my Misty, losing 1. Find a underground seed. And then I will pay for both.
I have nothing for this, so I have to pass.
Did the mind games work? The Thoracle ETB on the stack? I will tap 1 to activate Hermit. Activated ability on the stack? There are no basics in the deck, like there shouldn't be. So my library is now in the graveyard, and I have a Thoracle ETB on the stack.
No, I don't have anything I can cast right now. The only instant I have is a Mindbreak Trap, and it isn't live, and have no target right now.
GG, I somehow pulled this out of my ass. I don't know how, but here we go. Yay!
So a lot of you who watched may say, Mons, why in the world did you do that? But I still think that I did the correct thing. I just think that I was unlucky. That could have really been a turn 2 victory, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, for sure. You had the slow play with the Rhetoric study available, which would have turned out better, but going straight for the Nas into a potential win line with the Mana Vault, I agree.
The only kinda questionable thing was going for the Nas when all the win cons were gone. But that's just a miss we all did, because we're used to playing decks that has
I discovered that like you guys started to talk, how does he win? And that's when I started to speculate. And like I look in my deck list and I was like, oh, I don't know. I can't. So I thought there were gonna be some solution down there somewhere.
I'm kind of mad that in the mulligan, go out of my way to say that I'm keeping this hand. I'm very reliant on Mons and Snuske. And Mons just cheats himself out of the game. And Snuske keeps a 5 that doesn't do anything. So my hand just doesn't work.
I kept a 5 that the plan was to Worldly Tutor for a Birds of Paradise and hope for the best. Like, I drew the Thoracle. I had the Hermit in hand. It was like, it was Land, Worldly, Hermit, Phyrexian Metamorph, and the Mindbreak Trap. That was the keep. So a bit of protection potential with the Metamorph to copy something later, and the Hermit to maybe do Hermit stuff, and not realizing that Hermit Thoracle is a combo, or at least forgetting that is a thing, even though I started the deck tech with saying I have several hundred games on Hermit, which I do, I forgot. But luckily, I didn't get punished by getting another mana. Have that be a possibility. I drew the Commandeer on the turn that instead of a land.
All I can say is if you look at my hand now, I can say it's optics. Perhaps I just kind of put this here and then forgot. Oh yeah, and when you're just staring off in space. But I do think it's there's something to be said about when you're so in the weeds, you just simply forget about all possible things. So for me, I was just kind of reeling from that playing all my stuff. I could have kept Bop or something in my hand. Look, I have Endurance here. So there were some things I had. I couldn't, I didn't have to tap Guy's Cradle. But when you see sort of angles of forecasting what you're going to do, wrapped in the vines or distracted.
In any case, hope you enjoyed the video and thank you so much for watching. As always, we will be back next week. Until then, take care everybody.